Most amazing places and hidden gems in Oregon. No one talks about. What if I told you that Oregon is hiding places so surreal, so untouched, that even lifelong locals have never heard of them? One spot looks like Mars. Another? A secret beach hidden behind a forest trail where the sand literally sings. Oregon isn't just about Crater Lake or Mount Hood. It's a mystery box of jaw-dropping beauty, if you know where to look. So today, we're uncovering Oregon's best-kept secrets. Those places guidebooks skip, influencers gloss over, and Google Maps barely dares to highlight. Whether you're a weekend wanderer or a seasoned explorer, these spots will flip your idea of Oregon on its head. But heads up, some of these gems come with challenges. That's why we're breaking down everything you need to know, from tricky terrain to seasonal tips. So grab your gear, hit that like button, and let's dive into Oregon's most mind-blowing hidden treasures. Alvord Desert. Picture this: a vast, cracked playa, stretching endlessly under a sky so wide it swallows sound. The Alvord Desert is like stepping into another planet. Tucked beneath the Steens Mountain in southeastern Oregon, this flat, dry lake bed is one of the state's most otherworldly landscapes, and hardly anyone goes. During the dry months, the ground hardens into a textured sea of dusty clay, where you can camp, stargaze, or even drive on the open floor. But here's the twist. When storms hit, the desert can transform into a slippery, mud-filled trap. Cars get stuck, plans go sideways. Thor's Well? Now imagine standing at the edge of the continent where the Pacific crashes violently into black volcanic rock. And right in front of you is a hole, a swirling, surging portal that seems to swallow the entire ocean. That's Thor's Well. Located on the Cape Perpetua scenic area, this natural sinkhole is both terrifying and hypnotic. At high tide, waves explode into the air and rush downward into the pit, making it look like the sea is draining into the underworld. Sounds dangerous? It can be. Rogue waves and slippery rocks are no joke. But if you time your visit just right, sunset, medium tide, winter swell, you'll catch one of the most epic natural shows on the coast. Painted Hills. No, your screen isn't broken. Those wild colors are real. The Painted Hills tucked into the John Day fossil beds. National Monument are streaked with hues of red, orange, gold, and even green, like a desert rainbow trapped in ancient soil. What most people don't realize is that these vibrant bands are actually millions of years of volcanic ash layers, each color a time capsule of Oregon's prehistoric past. Scientists love it, photographers adore it, and yet, it's often completely empty. Why? Because it's remote, with little cell signal and few amenities nearby. But that isolation? That's the magic. There's a hush to the hills that almost feels sacred. Opal Creek Wilderness. Imagine emerald pools so clear you can see pine needles on the bottom, surrounded by moss-draped trees and waterfalls whispering in the distance. That's Opal Creek. Hidden deep in the Willamette National Forest, this ancient forest was once threatened by logging but is now protected, and it feels like stepping into a fairy tale. Hike through towering, old-growth cedars, cross wooden bridges, and dip into icy blue swimming holes so clean you can drink from them. Sounds perfect? Almost. In 2020, parts of the area were hit by wildfires, and recovery has been slow. Tide pools at Cape Arago. Let's talk about a spot where time slows down and the ocean reveals its secrets. At low tide, Cape Arago's shoreline transforms into a living museum. Starfish, sea anemones, crabs, and hidden fish. Each tide pool is its own tiny universe. And the best part? Almost no crowds. Most people head to the Oregon dunes or farther up the coast, leaving this rocky treasure untouched. Just be aware, tide schedules are everything. One wrong timing and your dreamy walk could turn into a foot-soaking hustle back to dry land. So check the tide charts, wear proper shoes, and respect the fragile creatures. The Wallowas, aka Oregon's Alps. You've heard of the Rockies, you've seen the Cascades. But Oregon's Wallowa Mountains? These are the alpine underdogs of the Pacific Northwest. Often called the Alps of Oregon, this remote mountain range in the northeastern corner of the state is all drama. Glacier-carved valleys, sapphire blue lakes, and peaks touching 9,000 feet. It's drop-dead gorgeous, but not for the faint of heart. Getting here can involve hours of driving, steep trails, and sometimes snow even in summer. But for hikers, backpackers, or those just needing to breathe air that hasn't been Instagrammed to death, it's paradise. Tamanawa's Falls. If waterfalls had personalities, Tamanawa's would be the quiet, poetic type. Not as tall as Multnomah, not as flashy as Tokati, but more soulful. Hidden along the eastern base of Mount Hood, this 100-foot curtain of water pours down a basalt cliff into a lush, mossy amphitheater that feels like a natural cathedral. The trail itself is a joy, winding through Douglas firs, across log bridges, beside tumbling creeks. But don't be fooled by its calmness. Icy spray and slippery rocks can sneak up on you, especially in spring. Still, with proper boots and a sense of awe, it's one of the most enchanting hikes in the entire Pacific Northwest. Secret Beach, near Brookings. Yes, that's literally its name. Secret Beach is one of the most misnamed and yet somehow still secret places in southern Oregon. A short, unmarked trail off Highway 101 leads you down to a cove where giant sea stacks rise like ancient sentinels from the sand. It's the kind of place you'd expect to find in a Studio Ghibli film, dramatic, dreamy, and totally untouched. Getting there requires some scrambling, and the tide needs to be just right, or parts of the beach disappear. But that's what keeps the crowds away. This isn't a beach day with flip-flops and floaties. It's an experience, raw, wild, and absolutely unforgettable. Just make sure to time your visit with the tides and leave nothing behind. Tokati Falls. If nature had a highlight reel, Tokati would be in slow motion. A two-tiered waterfall tumbling through a perfectly symmetrical basalt column amphitheater. It looks almost too good to be real, but it's very real and very underrated. Most travelers blow past it on their way to Crater Lake, not knowing that just a short hike off the road leads to one of the most iconic waterfalls in the Northwest. Want a little drama? The viewing platform is great, but some folks try to climb down to the base illegally. Don't. It's steep, sketchy, and several rescues have been needed over the years. Instead, admire it from above, where the view is still utterly jaw-dropping and 100% safe. Abiqua Falls. This one is for the adventurers. Abiqua Falls is a jaw-dropper, hidden in a basalt amphitheater with a single, stunning chute of water crashing into a glowing turquoise pool. But here's the catch. It's tough to reach. The road is rough, the trail is unmarked, and you'll need to navigate some ropes and steep, muddy paths. Sounds like a hassle? Maybe. But it's also what keeps the place pristine. You won't find fences, you won't find signs, and hopefully you won't find crowds. Just mist, moss, and magic. Pro tip: go early, wear boots you do not love, and bring someone who knows the trail. This is one of those spots that makes you feel like a true explorer. Hit that like button if you found a new favorite, and make sure to subscribe for more hidden gems and real-world adventures you won't see on travel brochures. Drop a comment below telling us your dream Oregon destination, or the one you think should have made this list. And hey, share this video with someone who thinks Oregon is just trees and rain. They're in for a shock. Thanks for watching, stay curious, stay wild, and I'll see you in the next one.